𝗔𝗹𝗿𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗔, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another video. Inshallah, this video again is very disturbing. Two young adults, teenagers, who traveled from, seems like that they traveled from Pakistan to where he is in Iraq, and they're there with their parents seeking the cure of being deaf. So what we do, we'll watch it together and then try to break down the video, and then we will see where the errors are and what he's trying to display. Okay? Barakallahu feekum. Let's just press play.
كان جاي باكستان. وعليكم السلام. من اسمك؟ من اسمك؟ What's your name؟ محمد. ابنكم ما يسمعون؟ No. شو يقول ما يسمعون؟
ما يسمعوا يحفظ شوية قليل.
أبد ما.
لا أبد ما.
هسه إن شاء الله يطيبون إن شاء الله. قول هسه باكستان يقول هسه يسمعون إن شاء الله.
أبيوز شروع كل لقى
إن شاء الله. بإذن الله.
إن شاء الله.
هسه يسمعون بإذن الله. وننزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين ولا يزيد الظالمين إلا خسارا. يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء لما في الصدور وهدى ورحمة للمؤمنين. يا أهل التوحيد ارجعوا إلى القرآن والسنة. يا رب اشفي المتشافي يا الله. بسم الله. اسمع؟ قول ما اسمع. اسمع؟ قول ما اسمع. طيب هسه يشوف يقول ما يسمع. انت تعرف يقول ما يسمع. شو بس يسمع. وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني. الله. اسمع. سأقول لك يقول اللهم صل على محمد. شوية. اسمع. وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني. اشفي بإذن الله تعالى. اسمع. هذا يقول ما يسمع. تعال هنا. فهمتي. وننزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين ولا يزيد الظالمين إلا خسارا. جاءوا كي نضيفون. تسمع؟ تسمع؟ اوكي. اللهم صل على ما صلى الشيخ ضيف. توجهت والحمد لله. الله عسى يسمع. استاذ يسمع؟ الحمد لله. قل الله. اللهم صل على محمد. ايه الحمد لله. يا رب اشفي يا الله يا الله. تسمع؟ شو يقول؟ الله اكبر. شو يقول استاذ؟
نعم.
يقول يسمعون. الله
شوي.
قل الله. الله. قل الله. تسمعون؟ تسمع؟
थोड़ा सा लैपटॉप नहीं है.
الحمد لله. قل الله. الله. وننزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين ولا يزيد الظالمين إلا خسارا. وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. قل للأستاذ اللهم صل على محمد. يلا قل الله. الله. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل على النبي. يلا قل الله. قل الله. الله. وصلى الله على سيدنا على حبيبنا محمد. ان شاء الله هذا الطاب ان شاء الله ويطيب ان شاء الله. والسلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته. استاذ ما مساء خلاص بي.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Do you see it or no? So we've watched the clip together now, and inshallah billah, I'm going to just spot some bits that you might have missed, and I will just give some highlights on what I've noticed.
السلام عليكم. استاذ اي مكان جاي؟
باكستان.
وعليكم السلام. من اسمك؟ الحمدلله.
ما اسمكم؟ What's your name? محمد.
محمد.
ابنكم ما يسمعون؟
نو
أبد.
قول طول.
شو يقول ما يسمعون؟
مع اسمه يحكي شوية قليل.
أبد ما
لا أبد ما.
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. So we established so far in the clip that these people have traveled from Pakistan to where this man is to get cured from being deaf. And the man is from Pakistan and his name is Muhammad, and you might not have noticed, but the son is actually smiling when he's greeting the healer. There's a smile in his face. You would have missed it. You need to kind of slow down and pause. As the conversation carries on, he asks them what's wrong with them and so on, and he says to them they can't hear. They're basically deaf. So the father says, but they can speak little. Then he asks the cameraman, who's a translator, and he's not part of this. I can tell that he's innocent from what's going on, and Allah knows best. Okay, I'm just from what I'm hearing. And the greeting does look like it's staged, like they've met before. They spoke about they're gonna, do it for camera and so on and so forth. But the children do look innocent to me, from what I can see. So he says that they can speak little, and then when the healer turns around to the cameraman, he confirms that they can speak a little. Now, in another video clip, this healer says that if the child is deaf from birth, he would not have the ability to speak. Right? So he knows this already. Now, when the translator confirms that they can speak a little bit, he pauses. There's a pause, and that pause means he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he's carrying on. Then he promises that these two teenagers, will get healed by the word of Allah Azza wa Jal. So, when you speak and you say, inshallah, inshallah, and you really, really mean it's only by the will of Allah Azza wa Jal, you don't say it the way he says it. The way he's saying it, he's affirming that's going to happen. This is the difference. Okay, so let's carry on to the next clip and see what happens.
هسه إن شاء الله يطيبون إن شاء الله. قول هسه الباكستاني يقول هسه يسمعون إن شاء الله.
أبيوش شروع كل
بإذن الله.
إن شاء الله.
So the way he says it, bi'idhnillah, he says what he's trying to say to the camera. He's trying to say they're going to get cured, and they're going to get cured through me by the permission of God, by the permission of Allah. And this is how the fake healers do it. This is their method. Is to make you believe that he has this ability by the permission of Allah. Allah granted him this. This is a gift to him. He is special, right? This is what he's trying to portray through the camera.
هسه يسمعون بإذن الله.
وننزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين ولا يزيد الظالمين إلا خسارا. يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء لما في الصدور وهدى ورحمة للمؤمنين. يا أهل التوحيد ارجعوا إلى القرآن والسنة. يا رب اشفي من تشافي يا الله.
From this part here, you can tell he totally disrespects the Qur'an. And it's very upsetting to hear him read the Qur'an. The fact that he prolongs in places where he should not prolong, that he just stops in the middle of the word, it's upsetting. And for somebody to claim to be a healer would not do this and not make these mistakes in the Qur'an. And even if you did and you have a habit of making mistakes, you be somebody who is studying with someone, you be constantly trying to rectify your mistakes. This person doesn't look like he's doing it, because all the videos he does the same mistakes. There's a reason now. Have you asked yourself a question? Why does he get them to turn around? The whole reason why you turn their backs to the other side is not so you can reach their ears or anything like that. No. Even him putting his hands on top of their ears, why are you doing that? And he's got to give an answer. When somebody's performing something, when somebody does some form of healing in Islam, we have to explain ourselves. If we come to a conclusion to diagnose someone or anything like that, we have to give an explanation. Otherwise, you have jinns. If there's no explanation for what you're doing, then you're working with jinns, right? So at this point, in this moment, I'm not saying that he has jinns. I'm just saying he has to explain why is he putting his hands around their ears, What's the purpose of that? They're supposed to hear the Qur'an when you recite the Qur'an, isn't that right? I mean, if you were to blow in their ears, that would make more sense. You're trying to unblock their ears. But blocking their ears when you're reading is the opposite to what you're trying to achieve. Which is, again, so why do they get him to turn, why do they get the person or the person who's deaf to get them to turn their backs? It's so they don't lip read. They don't lip read. So when you speak to them, afterwards they don't lip read. And this is for you to convince us that they're being cured. It's a trick. But he doesn't even perfect this trick. The trick that he's trying to do is not good. So he's copying someone that does these tricks and he knows exactly what he's doing. But he's not good at it. Do you understand, brother? Let's recap. Okay, so this type of healing is not new, it's old. It's a trick, right? It's basically trying to convince the viewer, the audience, that this person is going to be cured by the will of Allah, who gave this individual some power that hasn't given no one else. This is the whole point. So to make you all believe, all of you believe that I or this person has this power. Then he will do his healing method, and then that person will say, yes, I can hear. And that's what he's going to try and do this video, but it doesn't come across that elegant. It doesn't come across that the showmanship is really bad. So let's watch this.
Bismillah. تسمع؟ يقول ما اسمع. تسمع؟ يقول ما اسمع. اسمع. واحد حسي يشوف يقول ما اسمع. انت تعرف يقول ما اسمع. بس يسمع.
Half turns around to the camera and says, look, you see? He says he can't hear. Like, he's trying to confirm to us that this person is deaf. It's like almost like a challenge. And it's almost like, okay, you see he's deaf now, he's not going to be anymore. I'm going to get him to say he can hear.
وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني. تسمع؟
I paused here is that the person or the healer, I really don't even like saying his name, is saying to the father, after he doesn't get a reaction from the young lady, he says to the father, speak to her in Pakistani, i.e. speak to her in Urdu. That doesn't make sense. This is when you get a reaction like, what is this guy doing? Asking the father, speak to her in Pakistani, and obviously she's going to lip read him, and then she's going to say, I can hear a little bit, and that's how she replies. And as you noticed, he said, even himself, he's not even good at what he's doing. I'm really, really sorry, and those who are convinced, I don't know why you're so convinced by him. He just said now, on the video, he just said, she can hear it a little bit. But he didn't get excited. He didn't say, Allahu Akbar, okay, she's cured. And she's not going to change. Nothing's going to change from her circumstance, what she just described. I can hear little. And we know from the beginning, they can speak little.
وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني وإذا مرضت فهو يشفيني اشفي بإذن الله تعالى. تسمع؟ هذا يقول ما اسمع. تعال هنا.
Okay, so sorry, I'm going to pause on this one as well. Now, did you see the way he pushed him to the side? He's not happy with him at all. He's just not happy with him. He's trying to show him, I'm not happy with you. So he's going to want him to come back to him. It's just really mind games that he's doing on camera. And then he's going to say to the young lady and put his hands on her and say to her, my daughter.
بنتي. وننزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين ولا يزيد الظالمين إلا خسرا. 𝗔𝗹𝗿𝗂𝗏 أمك يبدون يخون. تسمع؟ تسمع؟
So now there's a little bit of excitement. Now he wants everyone to get excited. What changed from when she said she can hear a little bit and now? What's the difference between the two? Now you're ready to hype up the crowd.
اللهم صل على باصرات 𝗔𝗹𝗿 أوجيبه الحمد لله.
Hyping up the crowd and then hopefully getting the boy to say yes as well. That's the trick, brothers and sisters. This is what they do in this healing method, this fake healers. it is not new, brothers and sisters. This is old. So he's showing off to his crowd. His crowd there, they're masakeen, they come in there hearing about him, and they're all in the queue. And this is another sign that the person is not on correct way, is that having crowds of people coming to you like this. And now he needs to convince the boy to say that he can hear. Okay, so there's another point. The mother was talking to the daughter and he interrupted them, right? He interrupted them because the mother really wants to know if her daughter got cured. Now the father's so distracted by the fame of this individual. He's got his camera on there. He wants to see a miracle live on video. He wants to see this miracle. And unfortunately, he's not going to see no miracle. He's just going to see a guy acting. And he's going to be part of the act because he's so moved by this man, right? So, watch what happens. Again, you would have missed this if you don't pause and if you don't freeze the clip. The facial expression of the healer, he's upset. He shows him that he's upset. He's so desperate for him to say yes, but the young man doesn't know. He's innocent.
No.
He comes back to the camera. He says, what did he say? He knows exactly what he said. He wants him to say he can hear a little bit. And this is the story that he wants to tell you, that they were deaf, now they can hear. Okay, I don't understand Urdu, okay? No disrespect to the brothers and sisters in Pakistan. I can tell you that the daughter number one is speaking and she's saying she can't hear, she's still deaf. But he's going to force her to say she can hear. And what I'm going to do for you, all brothers and sisters in the Pakistani community, I'm going to raise the volume up. Right? This guy is lying on camera and people are convinced by his lies because unfortunately they just want hope. They want hope. And this guy's giving them hope with a big lie, which is not allowed in Islam at all. The fact that he's lying, he's not just lying, he's lying against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's lying against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is what's disturbing. And he's oppressing those who he claims that he's healing. He's oppressing them.
قل الله الله وننزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين ولا يزيد الظالمين إلا خسارة.
Now they were saying they can't hear, i.e. nothing has changed. Then the father butted in and said, little. I don't know why the father's doing that. I don't want to believe the father's part of the act. I don't want to believe that. That's the last thing I want to believe. I just want to believe that he's trying to encourage the healer by saying, yes, maybe he's that desperate. That's why he's speaking the way he's speaking. So now we're going to stop here as well. Before he says Allahu Akbar, this is, when he says Allahu Akbar, this is the part where he tries to confuse everyone. That's his trick. So as she turns around, if you notice, she only does this. And this is not a lot. This is little. Nothing changed from the beginning, middle, or the end. And now we come into the end, and he still thinks that he is successful in what he just done, and still puts it up on YouTube.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. قل للأستاذ اللهم صل على محمد. الله.
The boy does not want to comply. he only done it for the mother and the father that he done this. Like, are you guys serious? You're gonna bring me to this man who looks like a Muslim, pious, beard, and then say that he's curing me with the Qur'an, and now I'm gonna 𝗹𝗙𝗎𝗍 in front of the camera. He doesn't want to comply. You can tell. Look how upset he is. The daughter, she even wanted to laugh at one stage. The young girl that she's looking at this man now, she's looking up to him. Can you imagine this person now? People, young children are going to be taught that this person can heal people who are deaf, blind, and mute, and those who can't walk. And we haven't come to the jinns. We haven't come to that part yet.
وصلى الله على سيدنا وعلى حبيبنا محمد. ان شاء الله هذا الطاب ان شاء الله ويطيبني ان شاء الله. والسلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته. استاذ مام استاذ خلازمي.
He's done it. He's done his job. The job is finished. Again, what can I say? لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. What can we call him? Who is he? Where's he from? What type of Muslim is he? I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking, how can I give him an excuse? Camera's going to heat up in a minute, and it's going to close. So let me see if I can get this bit in. Okay. He said in this clip, I've got one clip, he says it's a mu'jiza, which is a big lie against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger. Okay, that's straight away. In other clips, he doesn't say it's mu'jiza, he says it's mu'jiza from the Qur'an. So he refers back to the Qur'an. So he knows, he says not a mu'jiza for him, because if he did, he's a liar, he's claiming prophethood. Then we go to the next stage of miracles, and that is karama. If he says that he has karama, we can easily prove on video that he is not somebody that a karama would be applied to, because he lies on camera. If he says that he's Shia and he used taqiyya, then I can understand what he's doing, even though I totally don't agree with it. 𝗔𝗡 𝗨𝗪𝗧𝗘 do not agree with